Oh, you gonna preach. You gonna preach whether you want to preach or you don't want to preach. Better get ready, Gigi, because you gonna preach.
And I'm like, come on through, Corky. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What,
Okay, y'all. This is my review for Greenleaf Season 1, Episode 6. Now, like I said, Gigi's being forced to preach. Bishop's going somewhere out of town, and he done put it down there etched in stone. You gonna preach no matter what. That's that. So she can't get out of it. She got to preach. So I'm like, all right, poor Gigi. Anyway, so the first thing we actually see her do, she has started this outreach group for women who have been abused or who are presently in abusive situations. And there was a woman who actually shared her story of how she was abused as a child or teenager, and it just so happened that we end up finding out later that she actually is currently in an abusive situation. And I'm looking at her and I said, where did I know this child from? And then I said, oh, it's that bitch. For all of my have and have not watchers, it's that goddamn Quincy's sister. Old child abusing, crazy, crackish ass Quita, who I could not stand. I couldn't stand her. I hated her so much on Have and Have Nots. She irritated me on there too. But on this program, the shoe was on the other foot. She wasn't abusing nobody. She was getting her motherfucking ass whooped. After she did her little thing and she explained what went on with her in the council session, her husband beat her ass. And she ended up having to come back, and Gigi and Kevin were trying to find her a place, and they didn't have a place at the shelter, and they ended up putting her up in a hotel. And throughout the program, we went through that stuff. They found her a place that they were going to be able to put her, but by the time they did all that, she done took her ass and went back home to the abuser. So that was a mess. And I'm sure we'll probably see some more with that little situation and all of that. So some more that stuff kind of is pushing Gigi to know that Gigi's supposed to be preaching. That's just all is to it. She's running and running and running, and she don't want to do it. But God has a way of making you do what I say you're supposed to do. And that's all was happening. So that went on. Then there's also another thing I noticed. Remember the pastor that Gigi gave the office to that everybody else don't seem to care for him very much. But he seems to be a really good dude as far as I'm concerned. But Gigi goes by there and they have like a little interaction where like he lent her a book and she read the book and it worked, really good for her. She brought it back. He talked about how people don't even return books. He has a really high level of respect for Gigi. And I think he really likes Gigi. And Gigi, same thing with him. I think she has a high level of respect for him. And it's seeming that he seems to be becoming more of like a mentor to her than her father. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what his whole background story is, but I get good feelings from him. I don't know why that is, but I do. I get good feelings from him. And the two of him and Gigi together, I think they'll be a powerful ass duo to do some good stuff. And that's just what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. Y'all tell me, put it in the comments what you think about, I can't think of his name, but the pastor in the glass office next to Gigi's office. Okay, so yeah. All right, let's go over to little conversation between Bishop and First Lady May. And you know what? Let me say this. When I say First Lady, I actually got that phrase from, and I'm doing a shout out here. Pay attention. Okay, Lynette and Stanley, which are my favorite husband and wife tag team. They are the fiercest tag team duo, as far as reviews go, that I know of on YouTube, and their channel is Random TV Reviews. Go over there, check them out. I watched a bunch of their stuff, and I love them. I've been watching them for a while. They are hilarious, cute couple from Virginia, and just I love them too. They're so cool, and they do a lot of the same stuff I do. They do do the hell out of the have and the have nots. They do the hell out of Greenleaf. So definitely, when you're done watching this, go over there, check them out too. Because if I forgot something, because every time I watch them, I'll do my review first, and then I go and I watch them. And always they have picked up on something that I missed, or they have seen it a different way, and they are actually based in the church. They are church folk, and so they have a different view on some things than what I do, and they have knowledge of some things that I don't, as far as the church goes, and they have a different way of looking at it. So definitely, I want you guys to go over there and check them out as well. And they deserve all the views. They are so good. They really are. But anyway, okay, so Random TV Reviews. Make sure y'all go over there and check them out. And like I said, their have and have nots are off the hook as well. And y'all always know, baby, anything Tyler Perry, because I'm mentioning have and have nots, Ashley Miller. Ashley Miller is the mecca of everything Tyler Perry. That's just the way it is. She does Greenleaf too. So check Ashley out too. But okay. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Let me get off my soapbox. But bam, and let's move on. But I got First Lady. That's where I start calling May First Lady from them. Yeah, because it just seemed more fitting than to be calling her May. She is First Lady. So so that's it. Bishop and First Lady. First, they're actually talking, and they just do not agree about the Jacob situation at all. They don't. They don't agree. They agree that they both don't think he's shit. Like, they don't have any faith in Jacob. But as the mother, I believe she's like, whatever it is, we drag him along because he's ours. Whereas Bishop is more like, this probably ain't what he should be doing, and he need to figure something else out. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's kind of where they are. And it seems as though Bishop is never going to put Jacob back in the pulpit. And that's the end of that. That's just the way it is. And then we found out from their daughter later on in the program that nigga was actually buying his sermons from, it was like buysermon.com or some shit for like $50 online. Because she said something to her on Gigi about it, and Gigi like actually looked it up and printed out a sermon, and then she threw that out because Gigi was like, that ain't right. Gigi knows in her heart of hearts what's correct. And she had a conversation with her daughter, with Sophia, and she talked about what it feels like to preach. It was real interesting too. How she said, it's like allowing yourself to be a vessel, allowing yourself to let someone speak through you, and yeah, she put it into words as best as she could, and that's what preaching is actually supposed to be. You are not supposed to be in there. It is supposed to be the word of God, what God is actually giving you to say, not your slighted version of what you think things should be or what's convenient for you at the time. So that was real interesting. I kind of like that. That's about the best that I've ever heard that actually broken down into words as to what preaching, what kind of feel you get when you're actually up there in front of the people and that kind of thing. And she was saying, there's part of it is nerve wracking, and the other part of it, you have to really trust. You got to trust in your relationship with God, because that way you're not giving the wrong message. And because of course that you can't just go call God up, honey, and report you. So if you're saying the wrong thing, I understand. It was interesting though. I liked it. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so Charity. Charity keeps getting into it with Nigel. You remember that damn Nigel. Nigel is the choir director or the minister of music or whatever he is at the church, but them two just keep butting heads. And she had talked to Kevin about it. And I didn't talk that damn Kevin. Kevin, for me, in this episode, was giving me very much. I'm not liking Kevin very much. Kevin gives me messy Butch Queen. I'll explain. But anyway, I ain't liking Kevin too much. Kevin's a little closeted, little messy Butch Queen. But anyway, so he basically tells her, well, fuck Nigel, fire him. Fire him. If he's always threatening to go here, there, and there, fire him, let him go. And she ended up doing it. She fired him. They went on, and Nigel got to arguing with her about a song or something, and then he wrote a check, and she cashed that motherfucker. She said, cha-ching, you're out of here. She had a whole stack of folks. She went ahead and picked somebody, and she ends up getting that together. And the whole time when we see when she's dealing with trying to figure out who to interview and all that, her husband's like this. He run around looking at dicks and shit, and looking at a dating app and carrying on. I said he's a mess, and he's getting very comfortable with the bullshit he's doing. Like he's all in. Like you sitting up in the room with your wife, flipping through the fuck site. Like where do they do that at? Like that's just. I mean, even the fiercest down low person. Damn. I mean that's kind of disrespectful. I mean he just stop, put the phone in his pocket, deal with her, go right back. I said, oh, you're a bit too much, Miss Kevin, honey. But anyway. So they go ahead through all that. She ends up interviewing a guy. His name was Carlton. And Carlton, right away, you know that Carlton is, honey, child, she's a well-dressed, fan-carrying musical diva, honey. You could tell right away. And they just hit it right off. And, I mean, they literally, like, yeah, they hit it off. It was more of you could tell they're going to end up being good friends and more than just a choir situation. And she hired him, and he told her, I'm gay. I do have a partner, and my partner will be coming to the church. Is that going to be a problem? Charity said no, but Charity done lied, child. Because the way these Greenleaf folks are, I can't even imagine that there ain't going to be some drama with that. The drama going to be in her own house, because after that was done, and she ended up telling Kevin, that's what Kevin gave messy ass Butch Queen. Oh, you shouldn't have hired him. Why, girl? What it got to do with you? What it got to do with you? Long as you keep his dick out your mouth, then y'all should be fine. And keep your face out of his crack. You should be fine. He got a husband, so he's not available to you. Cunt. So it should be fine. See, this is what I'm talking about. So I don't like no messy queens. That's messy. Now you want to try to block him from some coins because you want some old fuck shit. Now I'm not liking Kevin, y'all. I ain't caring for Kevin. Kevin, you acting like you a novice, but you know how to be a queen pretty goddamn good, Miss Kevin. Not liking you, bitch. Anyway, so that was that. And she's like, Charity's like, no, he's real nice. I like him and everything like that. And we're going to work well together. And we enjoyed our time. And this, that, and the other. She's like, fuck you. He's staying, honey. And that was that. And so she told him, she said, Nigel was gay and everybody knew it. And that motherfucker sat up there and said, yeah, but he wasn't, he didn't say it. Now see, it's gays like you, Miss Kevin, that makes all the rest of us look bad. This is why I tell y'all all the time, honey, there's much more discrimination within our community than there is outside. You all, my hetero friends and family, you don't even have the potential to be as mean to us as we are to each other. I'm telling you. I can't say it enough. Honey, the gays can be so fucking mean to each other, and so curt and so cutthroat to each other that you just don't have it in you. It's not in your DNA. It's not in your DNA to fuck with us as badly as we fuck with each other. And it is sad. It is sad. Anyway, I ain't going to get up on that because that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother time. But fuck Kevin from here going forward. Fuck Kevin, and I can't wait until they find you out and kick your motherfucking sweet bottom ass on out of that Greenleaf goddamn house. Anyway, moving on. Fucker. Anyway, he done made me mad. Okay, so, First Lady went to see Gigi, and she basically threatened her. She went down there and she told her, well, you're going to be preaching. And Gigi's like, yeah, that wasn't my idea. This, that, thing, and the other. She's like, yeah. And she tells her, basically, don't get up in that motherfucking pulpit and be saying no fucked up shit about me and your dad. Do you understand that? And Gigi's like looking at her like, more of like, well, why would I do that? Like, I keep trying to tell you, I keep telling you over and over, like, I'm not here to start any trouble. Like, what is really going on? You know what I mean? And she asked her, Mama, do you love me at all? What do you mean? Of course, lying bitch. Lying bitch. Because we sense that you hate her. So what make you think she don't sense it? Honey, Miss Slim Whitfield, you better quit it. She plays the hell out of that part. She just is nasty, honey. So that was the whole thing. And she left one out of there. Okay, so now we got Kerissa and Jacob. Now they trying to work on a plan B. Because Kerissa knows in her heart, Jacob, you're done. You're done. She even made reference, once Gigi preaches, baby, your days at Calvary are pretty much over. Like, because you're a fraud and everybody knows it. So we're going to have to figure out something else. So there's this whole thing where they had met this guy and they had, he had met this guy and they had dinner with the guy and his wife. And they were talking about some stuff the guy owns. He either owns or he's an executive at a TV network. And they're trying to work out something where maybe he'd be able to present it as Pastor Greenleaf, be able to get on television, or Jacob himself get on television. Well, long story short, throughout the dinner, it got very, very strange. And at one point, the male was just openly flirting with Kerissa. Openly flirting with her. She's flirting back with him and everything. And then it went into a whole different realm. They're swingers. Because they just blatantly invited them to come up to some cabin or whatever that they have and talking about, basically what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas kind of situation. And from what I got from it, I was like, child, well, wait a minute. Said the girls could get in the hot tub and then we could discuss business or whatever, and whatever mischievous things that we all get into as adults. I said, wait a minute. So I was clocking first. We'll switch over. I'm going to bang the shit out your wife real quick. But then child was giving, honey, then my mind was traveling, and y'all tell me if I was going too far. But it was sounding like, honey, like, child, I'm going to put my mouth on you and her. And then you going to put your mouth on me and her. We gonna all put our everything on everything. Honey, it's gonna be ollie oxen free, honey. Everybody in, honey. Everybody in with all your naughty parts engorged and tingly, honey. That's what I got from it. I said, oh my goodness. And Kerissa was down with the shit. She was down with it. And yeah. Cause later on that night, she was back there taking her clothes off and everything, and Jacob tried to get a little taste. She was like, "What the fuck you touching me for? Get on out of here. You know I don't do you." Sit his ass on away. And then they ended up, talking like later after made the decision to go ahead and took the dinner date, and they were getting ready to go. And he was sitting around looking real stupid and told her, he said, "I don't want to go." And she's like, we need to go. This is all about your future. And that's what she let him know. Basically, I'm down for whatever. We need a future. So I'm down for whatever it is. This, that, and the other. And he told her, he's like, he says, but you do realize what we're actually committing to. And she's like, why would you care if another man puts his hands on me? You've been disrespecting me. This, that, thing, the other. Then she said, you won't forgive me. You've never forgiven me for that one mistake. I don't know what that mistake was. I don't know what the fuck Kerissa done. Honey, Kerissa must have hobnobbed or did something, honey, and I'll be waiting to see what that is. But that's, Gigi said that, and he kind of just played past that. And then he told her, he said, that's what she said. He said, why would you say that? She says, yeah, why would you? I mean, why would you care if another man touched me? He told her, let me tell you something, woman. And let me tell, child, that Lamar, child, listen. He said, let me tell you something, woman. I didn't say that I was perfect. I said you're mine. And she said, what? He said, I ain't with no other man touching you. You are mine. I said, oh, come on, girl. And then, honey, he took Miss Kerissa, baby. And next thing I know, he was sliding her goddamn panties down, honey. And they looked a little wet, honey, because they was falling real fast. It said, don't no dry panties fall that fast, honey. They was falling down, honey. I said, girl, the panties is soggy, honey. And I don't blame you, Miss Kerissa. Girl, when he said, you're mine twice, honey, I said, girl, I don't even know why you still got your shoes on, bitch. It would have been on and popping. And then they bumped uglies real good after that, honey. So I said, maybe this was the thing that they needed to kind of repair Kerissa and Jacob for right now. Because, baby, he tore that little box up after that, honey. And she was so here for it with her bald head ass. I said, come on, bitch. She tried to be tough at first, but it got to her, baby. Yeah, that was good shit. Black love, honey. That was black love at its best. That was cool. That was cool. That was good saying. Okay, so then last thing I'm going to talk about here is, well, that ain't the last thing, but we getting there. We getting there. Mavis and Bishop is another question I had. Mavis and Bishop have a conversation, and they walking, and Bishop is basically asking Mavis, you know what, Gigi said that she didn't come back here to preach, so what did she come back here for? And Mavis basically told him, you're asking me because you know I know. And the fact that you know I know, you know too. And I was like, okay, so that's that. So, but then here's the question. Bishop said, I miss, seeing you like this. He told her, because he invited her to the church and everything. And she did end up coming to the church to see Gigi preach. Because she didn't know. He told her Gigi was going to preach everything. So, but he said to her, when I'm with you like this, just the two of them walking. They were walking on the pier. I feel like I missed my life. Did I? And she said, you have to answer your question yourself. I said, wait a minute. Did Pastor Greenleaf fuck with Mavis first? And then end up marrying May? Or something? Child, hold on to that, y'all. See, y'all got this question. See, I love this shit here, honey. All kind of little, you got to pay attention, honey. They be throwing out some little shit on this goddamn Greenleaf shit here. This is some good motherfucking shit here. There's something behind that. I wouldn't be surprised because he's a slick one, honey. So I wonder, was he Fucking with Mavis first? Yeah, God, honey. Yeah. We will see. Anyway, let me know in the comments what y'all think. Am I reading too much into it? Or did y'all catch that too? Alright, so last thing. We go to the church. And Gigi's getting ready to give her sermon. Her daughter Sophia sang. Alright. She get ready to preach. And she says, I don't know the verses and stuff, but she was saying, something about lilies in the field or something, something that Faith used to preach to the children about, and she was going to elaborate on it. That was going to be her sermon. And as she was standing there, she's looking out amongst people, and she saw Oquita sitting out there with her husband with a new fresh black eye and some sunglasses on and the kids, and they sitting there. And then that's when Gigi rose her head up and pressed her chest out, honey, and you seen shit go left. And she said, scratch that. What I'm getting ready to talk about is this. And that's where it ended, honey. And you could see in people's face like, oh, fuck. And Mavis, they showed Mavis's face, and Mavis's face was like, yeah, bitch. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, bitch. And First Lady's face was like, didn't I tell this bitch not to get no shit started? And one last thing before that, the one thing that I did catch, another little thing that got thrown out there, is that First Lady, when she saw Kerissa and Jacob coming into the church, and they were all happy because they had been fucking all night long, she was saying, yeah, this, that, the other, told them to, don't worry about, basically, I'm going to paraphrase it, basically, don't worry about this bitch. I got your back. Don't worry about it. She's talking about Gigi and Gigi preaching. But we saw within 20 minutes, they needed to worry because Gigi that perked up there, honey, and the Lord had just snatched her and hit her, baby. I swear she had a little glow of light on her, honey, because she was getting ready to lay it out. I cannot wait until the next episode. And it actually ended right there. Shit was getting ready to go completely left. I said, yes, Gigi, yes. So this, man, I'm loving this. This shit need to come on every day. I'm telling you, this, I could do this. Like if this was I would be terrible. I wouldn't get nothing done. If this was like a daily soap opera, I would be hanging on the end of this couch. But anyway, that's it. I done talked almost 30 minutes. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm done. All right, I'll see y'all next week. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know how all that stuff works. Loving this. Leave all your stuff in the comments. We'll talk until next episode. Okay, bye, guys.